Remember, most gracious Virgin Mary.
And we are back, and Father Bill joined us, and actually that was him on his CD, Hail. So I'm sure you've heard that once or twice before.
A couple thousand times in production, yes.
Yes, and you know what? It's so funny is that you actually were also on Going My Way with Father Hickey. How was that experience?
I was. It's my claim to fame back in Buffalo.
Oh, you're famous now in Buffalo because of Going My Way. It was fun though, wasn't it?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You're a very courageous man to go on that program.
Well, I found Father Chris Hickey to be so soft-spoken. I think I brought him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since you've been here in Watertown. That was a while back. What have you been up to?
Well, in the last few years, I'm still ministering in my parish, Blessed Sacrament in the town of Tonawanda, the Diocese of Buffalo. And on my day off and spare time, I wrote a book and I recorded another CD.
Oh, wow.
And I'm actually holding that book. Do you mind if I call you Buffalo Bill?
It wouldn't be the first time. It doesn't bother me at all.
Father Buffalo Bill Quinlivan, I'm holding the very book. Now, when did you find time to write this, and what motivated you, Father?
Well, about a year and a half ago, right before Lent, I decided, one of my spiritual directors years ago said, if you're ever going to write, spend a little time and dedicate a little time every day to it. So I thought Lent is a good time. So after morning mass and breakfast, I sat with my Irish tea, and for about 45 minutes or an hour, I would just sit at my laptop and write. And what motivated me was my friend Sister Breach McKenna, who's an Irish nun who's known all over the place,
Sure.
Was supposed to write a sequel to her book. I've been asking her for years. She has great stories. And then she decided to put it off. And I remember after I talked to her, I said, well, if she doesn't write a book, maybe I'll write one. Oh, maybe I will. And so I always liked to write. All my life I'd liked to write, and actually was a labor of love. It really was easier than I thought it would be. But people asked me, are you going to write a second one? I said, please, this just came out. The editing process was a lot longer than I expected, but it hopefully very few typos, we hope.
Well, tell us about the book, Made to Praise Him, Finding My Song. What is the book about?
Well, the gist, if you will, of the book is my life story, my autobiography, in the context of a vocation story. I really think it's important for priests to tell their vocation story. A lot of times people see us up on the altar or at the door of church, and they'll say, have a nice day. But very seldom do we get to sit down and tell them how we first heard the call, and then how we live it out. People read the book now and they tell me, I never knew priests did all those different things. I said, yes, we have a lot of various things we can do. So I also wanted to take some of my songs over the years. The Hail CD is number 8, and I'm, if you will, pregnant with number 9. I just went in the studio to start my new album. I wanted to give the background to some of the songs, because there's stories behind them. When I do little concerts and things, I don't always have time to tell the whole story. But sitting and writing, it really kind of flowed, and you know, I have a little background as a comedy writer. Before I was a priest, I used to write jokes for Joan Rivers.
Oh, really?
And so I used a little bit of my humor. My original title for the book was going to be From Joan to Jesus. But I wrote a letter to her about 2.5 years ago, and she never wrote back. Oh. And I saw that as a sign, especially since she has really good lawyers. At the time, I thought, no, I better just... And my sister proofread my book. She said, that's not the title of this book. She said, that's one chapter. I said, you're right. That's only one chapter of my life. So I had written a song called Made to Praise Him, and I thought that's really like what all vocations are about. You know, in this year for consecrated life, in this year of, in the coming year of mercy, God in His mercy has a plan for all of us, and we have to find it. That's why it's called Finding My Song. I never thought I'd write songs. It never occurred to me. I always loved to sing. One time I was at a prayer group, and someone came over to me afterwards, and they said, do you write songs? I said, I sat in on a session once. I didn't add much more than 3 words. They said, well, I saw you sitting and writing, and there were notes in this vision, notes coming out of the pen. And I thought, poor woman. And I went home. But I went in my chapel, and I was sitting and praying, and I thought, oh, here's an idea for a song. I started writing. Well, within a matter of weeks and months, it started coming a little more easily, and I'm still writing all these years later.
And part of God's plan for you, that you be made to praise Him, but also take care of the good people at Blessed Sacrament Parish. How long have you been there?
That's right. It will be 10 years next week.
10 years.
Yes,
10 years.
Yes.
So tell us about Blessed Sacrament, because I'm sure it's a great place. I know every parish really is.
Everyone is. Mine is a special place. The reason why my bishop sent me there, the reason I came to mind was that the parish had for a long time a great devotion to Divine Mercy. And I love St. Faustina. I love Divine Mercy. And so we have a special devotion every week. We do a perpetual novena the Divine Mercy Novena every week. And we're known for our meat raffles. Do they have meat raffles in Massachusetts?
They do in my parish.
Okay. We are known for our meat raffles. In fact, we passed the fire code last time. We may have to start limiting. It's been really quite crowded. My younger brother Joe is the MC, and you give a Quinlivan a microphone and watch out. And I always say, I'm the quiet one. You should meet the rest of my family.
Why do you think it's so important, Father? So you're a pastor of a parish. It's very busy.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote a book that's over here. You have done a CD and are doing more, which is here. Why is it so important for you to use all of this different type of media to reach out to people?
I think every person who's called by the Lord for whatever vocation, the Lord wants you to use the gifts that He's given you. Mm-hmm. Now, not every priest sings and writes songs. Not every priest wants to write a book. But there are priests. I live with a retired Monsignor, Monsignor Leo McCarthy. And in his retirement, he's still coaching football and basketball and baseball. He always loved sports. When he was moving in, I said, you're welcome to live with me, but just know, when you start talking sports, you're going to have to call another friend. If you want to talk about music, I can converse with you all you want, but it's just not my language. It's not anything I've ever done or been that interested in. So, sorry, Patriots fans, or whatever they are here. See how much I know. So, but I think the part of it is use what you've got and do what you can do well. And so I try to do what I've always enjoyed doing, and I hope that the Lord uses that in some way. So.
Now, a little behind the scenes, so people know, this week the ladies from the Gist are in and producing some great shows for you to see this summer and next fall. But I think one of the reasons you're here as well, besides being our guest here in the living room, is to be a part of the Gist. So you're looking forward to that.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
And what are you doing with them?
You know, they haven't told me yet. So I'll do whatever they ask.
They're a good group. I'll just say
Okay.
they're a nice group of ladies.
I saw an instrument, though, in the studio. I
Yes.
saw your guitar.
I brought my guitar.
So I thought that perhaps you were going to serenade
Perhaps if
us.
they twist my arm, yeah, I might sing.
That would be
Well,
great.
so after the CD and the appearance with Father Hickey and Father Rouse, I have to
Yes.
include Father Rouse. World tour now. So now you're on the Gist, and we just heard your music.
No, Boston and Buffalo. I think that's about it.
What's your favorite though? Is it writing or is it music? What did you enjoy more?
There are different aspects of both. I like to do music. Actually, my favorite thing to do, I like to do like holy hours in church and do music at holy hours. I've been told that's one of my better things that I do. We did it on the World Day of Prayer for Vocations. I did a holy hour for vocations at our seminary, and we included sisters, brothers, fathers, consecrated virgins. We had cloistered sisters from our Dominican convent. The
that's
externs
awesome.
came, and they all read a different prayer, and I did a little music in between. That, Eucharistic adoration with music is my favorite thing to do. It's not as nerve-wracking as concerts because, sometimes it's just hard to stand up when you're a priest on a stage. Mm-hmm. It just feels, I'm more at home on an altar, although if they twist my arm.
You'll do it.
Now, little aside, I hope you people don't mind me having a little private discussion here with Father
Want me to
Bill
leave?
just for a
Should
second. No.
Can I stay?
So this will only take a moment.
Oh, okay.
But you mentioned seminary. I'm thinking Christ the King.
Indeed.
Seminary. And my friend, Father Joseph Gatto, is the rector and president. How's he doing?
Certainly is. He's doing very well.
Yeah, good.
Yes, June 1st was the first anniversary of him being the president and rector. And he was actually my formation director a few years when I was in seminary, many years ago. He's a good
He's
friend
a great
of mine.
man.
Great guy, yeah. He's doing great things at our seminary. Our numbers are up. And I think that the positive rush that's coming with that whole new change is a good thing. We had great priests who were there before, but Father Joe Gatto has a way of motivating people.
Well, he certainly...
We can go back to the... you can come back in the conversation.
Okay. Finally, where can people learn more about everything, about the CD, about the book, about you?
Well, I have a website. It's www.FatherBillSings, and it's FRBILL. You don't spell out Father. ForBillSings.com.
Well, thanks so much for being with us. Send our best to Bishop Malone.
Thank you,
who's a
Jay. I
friend
will.
of all of us.